I'm really proud of that. It really warmed my heart, especially when you contacted me the first time. I was like, oh, so emotional after it was unreal because something like that, and it's in your face after 35 years or so. Is like it's a bit of a blowout. And yeah, I'd love to talk about that because I think when that logo was accepted by YCD and especially by Losa, it changed the dynamics of YCD, and it was like they had an identity, or it was sorely needed at the time because the YCD then was growing. It was really in leaps and bounds, and but I'll talk specifically about the logo for now. And yeah, well, it started with Lossa. She said, "Oh, we need a logo. We don't have a logo." And I was kind of sitting there, we're having a coffee. I said, "Yeah, true." Looking around, and she was looking at me. I said, "What are you looking at me for?" She would give you this look, and it always used to like crack me up, and trying not to laugh. She had this habit of your eyes trying to look over the rims of her glasses. She'd be like this. No, and you always used to put me off a bit because I just think, "What are you trying to look over their glasses? You got glasses on, just look through them," kind of thing. I was going, "Lossa, what? What are you looking at me like that for? You've got that look." And she said, "Tatane." I said, "Hi, Lossa." Said, you got some drawings there. I know you're drawing. I know. You've got some stuff at home. I'd love to see it. All right. So the next day, I brought my little folder in, my clear file in, with all my drawings that I had done. And I didn't even look through it to see, oh, she might like that and she might like that, and I'll take those ones. And I ended up taking them all, in the one folder. So we set up, we all in her office with the staff and all. And I handed her the clear file, and she was looking through it, and she just stopped on one page and just said, "This one here." And I had to peer up, "Oh, show me, which one have you picked?" And she turned it around, and it was the one that you're using now, that very design. And I thought, "Oh, yeah." And I thought I had some flasher drawings there that would have done it. But that one was like, "Are you for real?" That one. She said, "Uh-huh, that one." And I said, "No, fine, that's fine. All right, we'll go with that one." And I was sitting there, and she said, "Look, it's got to have a name." I said, "Well, it's representing YCD. That's its name." And then she said, "No, no, no, no. It's got to have its own name. It's like it's got to have its own modi. It's got to stand on its own and represent us." And I was thinking, and I knew she was right. I knew she was right in what she was saying because that's our Maori tongue all over. That's kaupapa Maori what she was talking about. And she and it just happened. The name just flipped in my head, and I said, "Oh," and I said, "What about Te Kore?" And she said, "Oh, so why? Why would you want to call it Te Kore?" And I said, "Because it came from nothing." She said, and she was a bit taken aback by that. I said, "What?" She said, "What do you mean by that?" I said, "My drawings I have in this folder. You know, I never take time to give myself a pat on the back with them. I said, 'Oh, that's good,' when I finish, but I leave it there because I'm not at the level where I want to be. So they don't have that that meaning to me as it might to other people. To me, oh, they're nothing. I want to get on with the next one." And she said, "Oh, why are you calling it?" te kore? And I said, well, it came from nothing, like in my mind. And in my mind, it was just another drawing. But you picked it out. You said, that's the one. And you made it into something. So, and in my whakaaro, it was from nothing to something. That's the simplest way I could put it at the moment. From nothing to something. You made it something. You saw its potential where I didn't. I thought, oh, it was a pretty good drawing, but not what you saw, especially to be the logo of YCD. I didn't think it was that, you know. There were others there I thought you might have chosen, but you chose that one. So, yeah. And from then on, okay, and it was sort of cemented, if you like. Once that name, and we talked about the name of the design itself, and we looked at Losa, and I said, you know what, Losa, this is why I'm here. This is one of the reasons why I know I'm here, because I've come to learn as well as perhaps even teach. And I thought, isn't I feel a bit selfish because I'm supposed to be here solely for the rangatahi, but I can see why it's like both ways, you know. Even as an adult, there's always, you know, you go to a place where you feel it in your heart. There's something there for you because there's something there for you to learn and to nurture and then to be more confident, to be more articulate. Because I wasn't when I first arrived there. I wasn't. That came later, and that came with being confident, and that came with being around people like Lossa and Vic, because they saw that in me, which I didn't, and they developed that without me even knowing. Because after Te Kore was born, YCD had their logo, and then the next step after that, you said, we need a kai kōrero for YCD. And I was looking around again, yeah, gee, we need to find a koro. Yeah. And she's looking at me again. And I'm going, there's that look again, Lawson. I said, this time I know what you're thinking, and I'm too young for that. I said, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of heckles raised if I took that position, because I'm not tangata whenua here, I'm not mana whenua here, so there's all these implications that you're asking to put my foot in, you know. And she says, it doesn't matter. What matters is we have all these resources put in place for YCD to make, I guess the word is to be credible. You know what I mean? So if we go to Tangi and we go to a hui, they've got a speaker. They've got a speaker who knows tikanga, who has knowledge of whaikōrero and all of that stuff. That ground is covered. And no matter what comes, we'll deal with it as it comes, you know. I says, whoa, you know, it's like, oh, yes, that big ass loss. I said, I know you can do it, Tatani. I said, when she starts to talk like that, you kind of melt, you know, you're like, and I say, all right, okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll go that way. And so, yeah, YCD then was really, it was kind of the happening place in town for our rangatahi and for the drama for Pacific Underground. A lot of young people, talented young people came to YCD and are really famous now, you know. It's amazing. It's amazing. All because of someone's idea, or two people had this idea to create this one-stop shop, centralized in Christchurch, where all the kids gather, you know, the square, etc., etc. And they could come to the YCD to hang out and just be there, and maybe join one of the programs, that, you know, the drama or the music or whatever was happening there, to and then to uffie them, and that was its purpose. Yeah.